Hi there, I'm Hayley and I'm going to give you a quick demonstration on how you can iron a shirt using the fabulous Pfaff Roller Press. The fabulous thing about this machine is that you can either stand up and work with it or sit down, so it really makes it easier for you to do all your ironing. It also has got a foot pedal, which is your operation pedal, and means that both your hands are free, so you can position anything that you need to, whether it's flat ironing such as bed sheets, tablecloths, that kind of thing, or where you've got shape as well. So when we're starting off with our shirt, the first thing that we're going to do is iron the collar. We're going to use the area here, and you just need to be careful to make sure that you don't get your fingers actually within the press. But we start off with the collar, and what you can do is you just post it into the area, the pressing area, just where you've got the little curve, and press down on the pedal, and it will actually bring the roller down so as you can press against that collar. If you take the pedal just halfway, it will actually stay in position, so you don't actually activate the roller action. And that gives you a nice press, because when you lift your foot off, it lifts the press as well. So you can see straight away we've got a nice collar to start with. You can use that same procedure if you want to actually do the button band, and also where your buttons lie. Again, just take the collar right the way to the end and make the use of both of these ends here, because you've got two open ends on this one. Again, just make sure that button band sits just inside the curve, and press down. Again, making sure your fingers are out of the way. Again, press down halfway, and then you can lift the roller up just by taking your foot off again. And as I mentioned, you've got both ends to utilise, so do exactly the same. And always make sure that whenever you're pressing any area with buttons on it, the buttons are actually facing upwards and pressing into the padded roller. Otherwise you may find that you crush them if they're pressing against the heated area. Okay, so those are our button bands, which are all neatly pressed. Going to work on the top front part of the shirt now. We're going to work in this area here. And again, we're going to follow the lines of the shirt, which is a basic rule of thumb when you're pressing one of your shirts on the roller press. So we're going to make the use of this area here, so with the collar and also just above the shoulder. So we're going to take the shirt and feed it in to the area. Again, area to support the fabric. I'm going to basically take the collar and just tuck the collar, so the collar is just outside the edge of the machine, and the main body of the shirt is within that area. And again, we're just going to press down, and as we press the roller, or press the pedal, you'll see that the roller will start to move, and we can just quite easily rotate that either in steps just by pressing up and down, or keep your foot on there and it will go along. Again, when you lift your foot up, it will take the press up so you can take your garment out. Now you can actually vary the speed by pressing harder, but I would always suggest that you go at a slower speed because you've got more control that way. And again, we're just going to move the fabric round now, so as we're kind of utilising the shoulder area, again, taking it over the edge, and we're just going to roll just a little bit further, just until we reach that sleeve seam. What I can do then is move the shirt down, so as we're going for the bottom part of the sleeve, so the underarm area, again, press down and roller, so we basically come to the underarm section and where that side seam is. So that's the front of our shirt, neatly pressed. You don't have to do it all in one go, so don't be afraid to lift your pedal and then actually move the garment around to make life easier. Again, we're going to do exactly the same, but on the opposite end this time. So we're going to take the collar and hang it just over the edge. Again, make sure that the fabric is all nice and flat, and utilise your lap area again to support it. And then just hold the fabric nice and firmly, but not too tight, or otherwise you might find that you're actually putting creases in. Again, press the pedal and move the fabric round so as you're happy with it. And then raise your foot, and it will take it again off the press will take it off the garment. Move it along, and as you can see here, we're kind of lining up the underarm section. Fabric's nice and flat again, and we can roll that so again it goes just under the arm and round onto the side seam, and again lift it up. So that's our two fronts that have been done. So we're going to work on the back area now, and I'm going to feed the whole of the shirt through, right the way through to where that side seam is. And again, we're going to kind of pick up where we left off on the side seam before. So the underarm area is just going to hang over to the left hand side. Just make sure it's nice and flat again, and press, and this time roll around onto the back. Now if you wanted to, you could carry on from that first piece and literally roll right the way through to your button band on the opposite side if you want to. But I prefer to do it in little sections, and then I know I've got a nice neat finish. Then we just move the fabric up again, and we're working on the top part of the shirt. But again, what will happen is we'll find that we'll automatically press the bottom part too, because that's the way that it works. So press down, and again the yoke of the shirt is going to be, the seam, we're following that across. Again, make sure that everything is nice and smooth, and if at any time you want to, just raise it up and then move it around. So again, press down, and as soon as you press down and keep your foot down, the fabric will start rolling right the way through with an even pressure. And just keep your fingers out of the way, and just keep an eye on where the roller is taking the fabric to make sure you get a nice neat finish. And then naturally we're going to finish at the upper arm area again. Raise the pedal and then move the fabric to just finish off kind of joining the back to the front and the underarm area again. Again, just make sure it's nice and flat and then roller it through. So that's kind of doing the main body of our shirt. Then we're going to work on the cuff area and the arms. Again, same rule of thumb, always keep your buttons face up. So this time the buttons are going to go in first. I'm going to press the cuff, and just make sure, this is where sometimes shirts can vary, so there are sometimes extra kind of pleats in here, so you do have to kind of accommodate for that when you're working. Just take the cuff, and as I say, just tip it over the rim that you've got here in the same way as you did with the collar, and just hold it in place just for a few moments to get a nice neat press on there. And then we're going to carry on, and we're going to do the whole of the sleeve, or majority of the sleeve anyway, and then just make sure that the seam, the underarm seam, is nice and flat, and again press, and then what will happen is it will feed through. And because we've got our buttons face up, they're going to be absorbed by the sponginess that you've got off the actual foam from the roller, and they're not going to be damaged in any way. So just carry on until we get to the underarm section of the shirt. And if at any time you want to move the fabric around, just lift your foot off the pedal and then reposition, and off you go again. Then once you get to the underarm, you lift it and just tilt it slightly to take into account that diagonal seam that you've got at the top of the sleeve. Again, smooth your fabric out, and then when you're happy, pick up where you left off and almost overlap the pressing. So you're kind of going over the little area that you did before and back again. So there we go, we've done one of our sleeves, nice and neat. Then back, and we do exactly the same on the other one. So again, buttons face up, and we just work on the cuff area, and then we start feeding the whole of the sleeve through. And again, use your lap, and because you've got nice firm creases in there, you don't have to worry about kind of puddling the fabric on your lap, because those fabulous seams have been set in place by the roller. And if you want, you can add water and actually have the steam action with it as well. All done. So there we go. That shows you how you can iron a shirt using the roller press. You'll probably develop your own technique, and within no time you'll find it'll only take you a couple of minutes to iron a shirt to perfection.